Gemma wants to say hello today. She wanted to be the spotlight of our day. Welcome, everybody. I'm on cloud nine this morning. The downloads that have been coming through in regards to this eclipse have just been magnificent, and I'm like super stoked to share them all with you. Looks like I hear someone else coming. There's Darla. Yeah, the dogs want to be with us today. If you guys want to say hello, please say hello. Let us know who's here. Maybe let us know where you're joining from. If you don't know me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I live in Northern Illinois. Here on Insight Timer, I talk astrology. I create communities, and I pull oracle cards. And today we're going to talk about the full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in about 4 hours. And then we're going to pull some oracle cards. And I have a lot of fun stuff that came through this morning when I was making my notes. So I see it's Mimi's first time. Let us know if it's anyone else's first time. Welcome, Mimi. Thanks for joining us. Samantha says, how precious. Good morning, Jacqui and everyone. Hi, Samantha. Hello, Jacqui. Greetings, Jacqui, dogs and friends. Hello, Anne from the UK. Hello, Sarabi from India. Hi, Lynn. Lynn's from Stockholm. Happy lunar eclipse. Christine, happy Cinco de Mayo, Jacqui and Tribe. It's my son's 34th birthday, which adds up to 7. Very lucky in this year of 7. Look at him, 7-7. I love it, I love it. Joe, welcome, your first time. Sarabi's first time with us. Awesome. Awesome, thanks for joining us. Hi, Kirby. Good morning, Nikki. Jacqui also says welcome to the first timers. I love it. Welcome, Kim. Joe is also in the UK. Beautiful. So what I like to do with astrology, guys, is always look at the bright side. Okay, this is not like negating the bad. I understand that astrology is all about choices. We have free will on this planet. Okay, just because something is happening in the sky doesn't mean that it's like death and destruction for everybody. That means that the energy is there and you get to use your free will to choose what you want to do with that energy. So I know full moons usually get this like bad rap that everyone's going to be super emotional and shit's going to hit the fan and all that stuff. And Scorpio, this lunar eclipse is happening in Scorpio, and Scorpio gets a pretty bad rap because Scorpio can be very deep and very emotional. However, my philosophy, I guess, is that there is no good and there is no bad. We just have energy available to us, and we get to choose what we do with it. Let's see who else is in here. Good morning, Courtney. Hi, Linda. Karina from Palisade, Colorado. It's your first time. Thanks for joining us, Karina. Hello, Christine. Hello, Rhonda from Texas. Let's dive into what's going on. So today we have the full moon lunar eclipse happening. So I'm Central Time, and for me it's happening at 12:33 p.m. Normally when I do this kind of stuff, I'll pull up the chart for like around the right time and I'll just get an idea for what degree this is at. But for some reason today, I just typed in 12:33. I thought I remembered it. And I got the exact degree and minutes of today's eclipse. This is where all the downloads started. So this eclipse is happening. The moon will be at 14 degrees of Scorpio, and the sun will be at 14 degrees of Taurus. Opposite. But it wasn't just 14 degrees. This is happening, so you have the 30 degrees of the sign, and then each degree gets 60 minutes. I don't really understand how that all works. It's just like another way of refining exactly where these points are. So this is happening at 14 and 55 minutes of Taurus and Scorpio. You guys know what the date is today? 5/5, May 5th. Friday is the 5th day of the week. Hello, Bonnie. Hi, Mary from Connecticut. Great to be here. Oh, thanks, Lynn. Yeah, we're always choosing. We always have choice. So, yeah, today's May 5th, 5/5. Friday is the 5th day of the week. If you were to write out the date today, just 5/5/23, which oh my gosh, it was 555 on the timer when I said that. I think that's cheating when you just like do the numerology like 5/5/23. However, there's no coincidences. So 5/5/23, if you add 2 and 3, you get 555. This eclipse is happening at 14 degrees of each sign. Let's add up. 1 plus 4 equals 5. And I never, ever, ever pay close attention to the minutes, but today it's happening at 14 degrees and 55 minutes. Holy moly. How many 5s can we get in one eclipse? 5 in numerology is the number that represents change, transformation, temporary setbacks, tension. Okay, 5s are tension. 5s are this uncomfortable energy that you feel like you have to just push through it. Once you do push through it, then comes 6, then comes harmony. I did a little bit more research on the number 5 this morning, and I liked what I found. 5 encompasses the 4 elements plus spirit. Using all of your resources plus your intuition. We also have 5 fingers on each hand and 5 toes. So this felt like using your physical body during Taurus season. Taurus rules the physical body. So this was an extra oomph to use your physical body to experience whatever change is happening in your life right now. Because eclipses are big deals. Eclipses bring big change. This eclipse that's happening today, so we take the sun in Taurus. I'm going to do it opposite. We take the sun in Taurus and the moon in Scorpio. That's today. Sun in Taurus, moon in Scorpio. 6 months ago, November 8th, 2022, we had the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Taurus. And this was only like 1.5 degrees away from where it's happening now. So how I'm seeing this eclipse is like we're looking at last November's lesson on the other side of the coin. It's like we're seeing it from a different vantage point. We're getting a different angle on the situation. It's like the light is shining on a different angle, and you can see maybe last time some shadows were illuminated and now some of like the positive is illuminated, or vice versa. You know, you're just able to see whatever was happening in your life last November all the way through, because the eclipse that happened November 8th, that takes 6 months to transpire or so, you know. Astrology doesn't play with time, but if we had to put a quantitative measurement on it, we can call it 6 months. So whatever started last November, this is like we're gaining clarity from a different vantage point during this eclipse. So if you would like to look at your natal chart, looking for right about that 15 degree point halfway between where Taurus is in your chart and where Scorpio is in your chart. And just look to see if you have any planets around 15 degrees. That might be as far as you go. Astrology can get a little confusing, but if you're good at geometry, you can look to see if you have any squares to what's going on. So that would be 15 degrees of the other fixed signs, which would be Leo and Aquarius. So you can, if you have stuff that is squaring, so around 15 of Leo or Aquarius, that would create more tension in November and now. And tension isn't bad. Tension is just something that allows you to push through. I see it like a slingshot. I kind of had a slingshot moment this morning that we'll talk about, and I think today's great already. If you don't want to look at your natal chart, you're still going to have a great lunar eclipse. You don't need to like dive into your chart to fully embrace what's going on. That's just my way of like fine-tuning the messages. So what else is going on with this eclipse today? There is a lot of energy going on. There's a lot happening in the sky. We have a lot of tension. We have a lot of support. Happy birthday, Anne. I could sit here for like 3 hours and talk about what's happening in the skies, but I picked out the main points that I think would help us, and especially would help guide our oracle reading that we're going to go into. So the full moon at 14 degrees of Scorpio is making 2 trines. Trines are harmonious aspects. They ease any kind of tension. Which is actually, yeah. So the full moon is making a trine. This is 120 degrees to Mars in Cancer. This is helping kind of soften Cancer water, soften our aggression, Mars. So whatever changes are happening, you know, like sometimes our first reaction to when something changes is to like, and jump on it. And no, I'm not ready for that. And we're having support from this Cancer Mars, helping us to get in touch with how our emotions impact our actions. So it's helping us kind of like not react so fast. And it allows us to say like, whoa, I'm feeling uncomfortable. What else can I do with this? Or, ooh, that like sparked some rage in me. You might react a different way if you were feeling rage, but you know, it causes you to like observe and feel instead of react right away to all of these major energies going on. We're also having the full moon trine to Saturn in Pisces. If you have been disciplining yourself in the form of spirituality, if you've been showing up to your spiritual practice, doesn't mean you have to be doing it 10 hours a day. Doesn't even mean you have to be doing it every day. But if you're doing it in a way that is making it a priority of sorts in your life, you know, we all have a whole bunch of shit going on in our lives. We can't make everything our priority. But if you've been paying attention to your spiritual practice, that's what Saturn in Pisces is all about. Saturn is structure, discipline, regulation in the sign of Pisces, the spiritualist. So Saturn likes to, I call him like the divine father. I don't know if that's what other astrologers call him. That's just the relationship I have with Saturn. I feel like he holds us accountable, but then when we rise to the occasion, he's like, here, you did a great job. Take it. Take all the joy. So if you have been, and I mean, even showing up to an event like this, that's spiritual discipline. That's you taking time out of your day to listen to someone talk about how to ease your life. You know what I'm saying? So this is spiritual discipline. Don't be so hard on yourself. So we have the full moon trining Saturn in Pisces. So your spiritual discipline here is softening the blow of this event, of this lunar eclipse, by understanding and getting in touch with your higher self, getting in touch with your spirit guides, getting in touch with whatever source is to you. That is helping you navigate this difficult path that we might be moving through. This cycle of death and rebirth, right? This lunar eclipse is in Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth. So having that, like the work that you have been doing, maybe even specifically since November, but the work that you have been doing is giving you like a soft landing for this cycle of transformation that we're all going through right now. You might see this impacting others more harshly, and that just might be because they're trying to control their whole life. They, you know, before I had a connection with source, I grew up agnostic. You know, I didn't know what it was, but I knew that there was something, but I had no relationship with it. And I tried to like force every part of my life into place how I thought it was meant to be. And stuff was difficult, you know? And then once you trust, once you learn that there is this force that wants to support you, and you give discipline to it, you tune into it on a regular basis, you listen to it, you hear what it has to say, it softens. You release the control. I'll talk about this now. I was in a workshop last week about like tuning into your intuition, and the woman said something that I really liked. So she was talking specifically about if you get a ringing in your ears, that's the universe trying to talk to you, and it's appropriate to stop what you're doing and listen and just tune in. Like, what are you trying to tell me? And just sit and wait. And she made a good point. Like, if you don't listen to the universe, if you shut off the messages, if you tune out the messages, why would the universe keep talking to you? Like, what if someone's gonna be ignoring you, are you gonna keep trying? You know what I'm saying? And I like to put things in analogies. Hi, Wout. I like to put things in analogies, and this morning I was thinking about, like, when you're talking to someone on the phone and the reception isn't good, or like maybe their volume isn't all the way up. We'll use that situation. So you're talking to your friend on their phone, but their volume is all the way down. They can't hear you. So you're trying to talk, and they're saying, "What? I can't hear you." Huh? And that's like you saying, the universe doesn't talk to me. I don't get messages. My guides don't see me. You're going to get frustrated and you're going to hang up. And then you'll call back later, right? When the time is right, you'll call back later. Or if you're talking to this friend and they're like, "Wait, I'm trying to hear you. I can't hear you." And then they relax. So that's you relaxing into the messages that you're receiving. And then instead of saying, "I can't do this, I can't do this," you notice, "Oh shit, the volume on my phone is down." You turn the volume up and then you can hear them clearly. So that's the same thing. The universe wants to talk to you. Your guides want to talk to you. You just gotta listen. You just gotta try, and then they'll speak louder. I digress. Your spiritual discipline is what is softening the blow during this cycle of transformation, this cycle of death and rebirth. Scorpio is it's co-ruled by two planets. We're gonna start with Pluto. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. I don't know when Pluto was discovered. I don't know, 1950s? Am I making that up? Whenever Pluto was discovered as a planet, that's when he became the modern ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, this transformational planet. So Pluto is the ruler of this lunar eclipse. So to get a better feel of the energies available, we can look to Pluto. What's Pluto doing right now? He's backing up. He's retrograding, backtracking back into Capricorn. So right now, even Pluto, even the ruler of what's happening right now, is saying, "Actually, I have some unfinished business. Hold my beer. Watch this." So Pluto is showing us that there's still work to do. There's still cycles that we need to close out. There's still endings that are lingering that we are meant at this time to close and to leave behind. Pluto's walking back into Capricorn. Like, I tried to move forward, but I actually have some unfinished business. We got to go take care of that. So that's kind of the energy that's happening here. Not to say that you need to like go back on actions you've made, not to say you need to go back and lament on stuff, but just like close things out. What's still open in your life? What is still lingering? You might need to, just like let that person know that we never said this out loud, but no, you don't owe me money. Or like, no, you don't need to repay me for that favor. Things like that. Just closing out energies. Because when things are open and they linger, it's taking up space in your energetic body. So you're not able to welcome in all the beautiful new things that are coming. You need to close the chapters and let them go. Embrace the release. Pluto also wants us to release control. He's backtracking. He's going back into Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of structure, boundary, regulation. Pluto destroys that. Get rid of the control. I'm going way out there today. If you're following me, Good job. If this is like going over your head, because I'm on a tangent right now, like I'm just going there. I always put the replays of this on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and listen. Just search my name on YouTube. Yeah, you can find it there. So you might also be feeling the influence right now. Thanks, Joe. This is all makes so much sense. I'm glad this is resonating. You may also find yourself being influenced by the North Node in Taurus. The North Node is almost done in Taurus. It's been there for about 1.5 years. We have just a couple months left of North Node in Taurus. The North Node represents where we need to go as a society right now, everyone, to reach our highest destiny. Like that's the North Star, the North Node. That's where we're going. North Node in Taurus pulls us to create security. Taurus is all about security, feeling safe. And right now, the message that I'm hearing is that you can create security without controlling the situation. Control doesn't equal security. And I was trying to think about like, okay, how do I release control? How do I feel secure and release control? I read astrology. I don't control what energies are available, but I feel secure because I understand what's happening. Does that make sense? Oh, I'm sorry about that ad. That's annoying. I feel secure because I just am aware. So I use astrology as a tool to release control. I also use my cards to release control. Oracle, tarot, I just ask the universe, what do I need to know about this? The universe tells me what I need to know. Okay, and I kind of stop overthinking it. So just giving you some suggestions about how to release control. We can also look to Mars when it comes to this lunar eclipse because Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Before Pluto was discovered as a planet, Mars ruled Scorpio. And what is Mars doing in the sky right now? Mars is like super uncomfortable in this water sign of Cancer. Mars is like, I'm supposed to be angry and aggressive, but I'm in this pool of emotions and I like want to cry, but I'm supposed to fight. And Mars is just like, I don't know what's going on. So there's another energy that we might be feeling with this full moon is like, I used to do it this way, but now I'm in a situation where I'm trying to do it this way, and I know that this is right, but it feels weird. So, yeah, that made me laugh when I was seeing that. I'm seeing this, like, red fireball, like, dropped in water, and he's still on fire, and he's still supposed to act and do things, and he's like, I don't know how to swim. I don't know what I'm doing. So it's a very new, uncomfortable, just, like, WTF type feel right now. But this is all, this whole message, we're going to tie up this message right now. It's all about trusting the cycle. You're always on the right path. Always. You're always on the right path. Sometimes the path has hills and valleys and mountains to climb. But it's all about loving the process and thanking the process and choosing to move forward through the process. The only way out is through. Especially with this 5 energy. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. May 5th, 23. This eclipse is happening at 14 degrees. 1 plus 4 is 5. 14 degrees and 55 minutes. Get out. It's happening on a Friday. Friday is the 5th day of the week. There's so many signs and symbols right now that the universe is like, change, setbacks, transition, but it's temporary. 5 is the halfway point between 1 and 10. You're like halfway there. You just got to turn the turnpike and things start to ease. But we got to get through this. We need the tenacity, the determination, the spiritual discipline, and the watery action, the emotional, spiritual action to move through all of this right now. A couple more side notes. I'm going to read some comments, and then we'll get into the oracle cards. But if you were with me yesterday I went on YouTube Live, but we pulled cards from the Animal Apothecary. We got the pig, we got the buffalo. And I told you guys a story about how bison energy called to me last weekend. And then I ate the bison burger. What I don't think I told you guys is that when I came home from my retreat, I was standing in my backyard and I was just observing the birds. I was listening to how many different birds I could hear. And I looked over. So, in my backyard, we have like a square of trees. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, and they're like a nice little square. And I just happened to glance at one of them, and I was like, oh, what's up, bison? And there's clearly a bison face in the tree. It's one eye and like the long face, long nose. So that all hit me when this bison energy came up. This morning I went outside, and I remembered that same day, I found the bison in one tree, and I found a boar in the other. Just the knots of the tree, it just is a boar. You can't deny it. That's what it is. So I knew that, and then this morning I went back out. I saw bison and boar, and I was like, oh my god. Yesterday we pulled the pig and the buffalo card. It's just like slightly there. So that was really cool. And then I was tuning in with the bison. I was just trying to like connect to my tree to see, oh my god, I can't believe this is my life. I was tuning into the tree, just like observing the way it was growing and like waiting for messages to come through. And a crow, I've been working with crows a lot too. A crow went caw, 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 caw. I was like, all right, here we go. This is magic. Jacqui loves the synchronicity. Catherine, this is happening to you. Yes, Jacqui says, I love this, Jacqui, about security and control. Makes perfect sense and timely at my house. Yeah, the control, the perfectionism, let it go. Let it go. Everything you are saying has been whispered to me for months, Melissa. Thank you for coming here for the validation. Alice, I had a huge release yesterday of unfinished business. It was so freeing. Yes. Ani, closing out a habit. Yes, you can close out the cycle on a habit right now. Cycles anywhere. There's like a million examples we could use for cycles closing out. I love it. Hello, Anik, by the way. I love it. So I wanted to, if the true node in the first house is the south node always in the 7th house, in your natal chart, Lynn, yes. So always the nodes of the moon, I still don't have a full understanding of what they are. It has to do with the ecliptic. It has to do with the orbit, how the sun and the moon and how they overlap. But they're always 180 degrees apart. So even as they move through the sky, they're always just pulling that tension line. So wherever, hi Jennifer, wherever the north node, true node, I think the words are interchangeable. There might be a slight difference that I don't know about. But the north node is usually the only one that is shown in your chart. And then you can, some of the softwares you can select to have the south node appear on the chart, or you could just know that it's 180 degrees apart. You're welcome. Bonnie also loves the security control conversation. It came to me in a meditation this morning. I did one on Insight Timer just about connecting to your inner wisdom. And I was like, the question I asked my inner wisdom is like, how do I achieve this goal? And it was so clear. It was like, just let go of your expectations. Let go of control of the outcome. I know, my soul knows that the universe supports me, that I always have everything I need to do everything I want to do. The control to know, like, well, I used to make X amount of dollars every other week, so I need to figure out a way to make X amount of dollars. By controlling that, I'm not allowing the universe to bless me and bring in more. So just riding the wave. This Scorpio eclipse, Scorpio's water, just wave with it. Courtney keeps seeing deer and having dreams about them. Deer wants to work with you right now, Courtney. I love it. You're welcome, Lynn. I'm going to try to use that in conversations with my dad. Blessings, Bonnie. Blessings. So I wanted to ask, I know that we're using the gateway of light activation today. I wanted to ask what messages to keep in mind as we move through this transition. Like, what's kind of an anchor to hang on to in our mental realm while we move through these transitions. I'm using the last of my incense to clear my cards. I apologize, it's almost done, and I want to make sure I cleanse these. Just real quick, the eclipse is happening in about 4 hours, less than 4 hours. You can leave some things outside tonight to be cleansed or left in a windowsill. Thank you very much, Rhonda, for your donation. It's very much appreciated. And hi, Deborah. You're never late. You're always right on time. There's no mistakes. There's no coincidences. You made it just at the right time. So like last night I put out a bunch of crystals outside my house and I asked, like, you got to set the intention. If you just put crystals outside, nothing's really going to happen. But I set the intention that the full moon cleanse and recharge the crystals so that I may use the energy of this lunar eclipse throughout time, blah, blah, blah. I make moon water, so I just fill up a big jug of water and I leave it outside, setting the same intention, and then I drink it throughout the lunar cycle. You can also like use it in your baths. You can use it in any other types of rituals. You can make yourself like a body spray and you could spray yourself with the moon water, whatever you want to do. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this. Just follow your intuition. And then I also take my oracle cards and I spread them out in my windowsill because I don't want to leave these outside. And then I ask that the moon charge up, clear any energy and charge up my cards as well. Doug woke up at 3:30 in the morning last night and the moon was huge. Yeah, I went outside last night before bed and it was amazing. It was just so nice to drink it in. I love when the weather gets warm. I can actually go outside and enjoy nature and not stand there wishing it was warmer. Elisa, what time is the eclipse happening? Central time, it's at 12:33. 1, 2, 3, 3. That's like a repeat of the step. Like you did step 1, 2, 3. Maybe you got to do 3 again. Like that's, I got that too. So if you would like to send your energy into these cards, I always do group readings. So this reading is going to be for all of us, and we are asking what message can anchor us throughout all of this change, throughout this transformation, this transition. 3 cards just came out. Boom, boom, boom. Love it. Fell right out of the deck. That's been happening a lot lately. Actually, that's been happening a lot lately. Diane went on a full moon hike last night. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it. So I am going to show you the backs of the cards. You're going to see the same image 3 times. Doesn't matter. Use your mind's eye. Use your third eye. I want you to... The whole reading is for all of us. So let go of that kind of expectation. Like, the whole reading is for you. I love that, Christine. Oh my gosh. I want you to tune into your physical body to see if your guides send you any other type of messages when I hold up a certain card. If I hold up a card and like you get a ringing in your ear or your ear pops or you have a tickle somewhere or like a muscle twitch or an itch or like if your dog barks or if the screen glitches or if something happens when I'm holding up a card, that just means that this message is more strong today for you. But the whole reading is for all of us. Christine, I love that. I got up twice the other night. 3:33 and then 5:55. I love it. Jennifer had dreams about folding sheets. I had a very strange dream last night. I don't want to get into it here. It's very long and detailed. If we have time at the end, we'll see. All right, so here, guys, is the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. throw it in the chat if any of those are calling out to you. And thank you, Carmina. She said the full moon occurs at 12:33 Central, but the eclipse runs from 10:14 to 14:31. Not visible in the US. Thanks for the clarification. Beautiful. I'm going to hold up the cards one more time in case you need a second go at it. Oh, Alice, that's beautiful. She said, last night I had a very vivid dream of my late husband. We both knew he had passed and was now back in the flesh. It was beautiful. Thanks for sharing. I feel the beauty from that. That's awesome. All right, one more time, guys. Here's the back of card number 1. The back on card number 2. And the back of card number 3. I'm going to go back and read who's working with what. Jacqui, 2, 3. I guess that makes 5. I love it. Samantha's working with 1. Diane, 1. Bonnie, 2 and 3. Anique, perhaps all, but I think 3. Elisa, whoa, you completely froze on 3. I love it. Diana says my phone glitched at card 3 and you froze. Christine says you froze on card 3. Oh, that's crazy. Vicky, 2. Courtney, 2 and 3. Jackie froze on card 3. Stacy, 3. Shannon, what if I feel all? Lovely. The whole message is for all of us. But sometimes your guides are just like, this one right here, and if that didn't happen today, cool. The whole thing is all for you. Lauren, 3. Jennifer, 1 and 3. Or 2 and 3. Lauren, 3. Jennifer, 2 and 3. Samantha, 1 and 3. Doug, 1. Deanne, 3. Charlotte, 1. Deborah, 1. Alice, a strong 1. Sarabi, 3. Stacy, 2 and 3. Deborah, I felt literally repelled by 2. Let's see what that means. Nick, 1 was throat chakra and 3 off the charts. Cool. Melissa, 2, and you felt it before you showed any. I love it. Stacy says it also froze on 3. Catherine, 3. Melissa, but I feel 3 is for all of us. It's okay. So I didn't say it. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I went to go hold up card number 3 and I noticed it was upside down and then I flipped it to hold it up. So right now I don't know what that means, but I'll know what it means after we read it. And it's interesting that it froze for all of you guys. And I just ninja'd the hell out of that gnat. I don't know if anyone saw it. I got it. Okay. I'm very excited for this reading. I'm going to try not to blab a lot about all of the cards because I do want to get to our second deck. I usually do a culminating card, and I feel like this is important today. Jess, I felt nausea on card 2. So let me just throw this out here right now. We have a lot of audience participation today, and I love this. When you feel a specific, like if you're able to, it's like refining your intuition, okay? At first, you're just like, I don't know, I'm drawn to card 1. You listen to card 1, okay, that message is for me. Beautiful. That's step 1. If that's where you're at, that's a wonderful place to be. A lot of times when I do cards for myself, I just feel that pull, and that's it. Other times, when you are like, I felt nauseous, or this is for my throat chakra, or I felt repelled by this, take that feeling and let it filter the message that comes through the card, if that makes sense. So like, whatever message comes out of card 2, why did that invoke nausea in you? What about this message are you not able to digest? The throat chakra thing, like, what are you trying to say that's in this card that hasn't, like, why is this activating your throat chakra? Or if you're feeling repelled by it, like, what am I not ready to hear yet? What am I not ready to face yet about this card? So take that in with all of the messages if you feel that specific hit with a card. All right. This is how to keep us anchored and grounded throughout all of this change. Card number 1, this is the Soul Star activation. Fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. The Soul Star chakra is the energy center that is found 6 to 12 inches, 15 to 30 centimeters, above the crown, and connects us directly with soul wisdom. It is our gateway to the etheric realms, which hold all the lessons of all the incarnations that we have experienced. Through our soul star, we access information and wisdom like a computer connecting to the internet through broadband. Instead of having to move through the dimensions to access the information, we can remain connected at all times and download support as necessary. The Egyptian god Horus appears on this card as our spiritual guide. His hawk-headed image is said to illustrate the connection to the sun, moon, and stars. As a keeper of energetic portals to hidden realms, he can help us remember our starry origins, open psychic vision, and connect directly with the wisdom that is held in the stars. Through your previous journeys, you have learned much about the inner workings of your soul and about cycles of karma. Before this incarnation, you set a powerful intention to remember your divine origins. At this point, you are in a powerful space, for you are remembering who you truly are, and you know that you have it within you to make a great difference in your own life, the lives of those you love, and of course, the world. This remembering is in alignment with the soul contracts you made before coming to this realm. If you find yourself worrying that you are making the right decisions, know that even if you aren't conscious of it, that all that you have chosen so far is in accordance with your soul's evolutionary plan. And when you draw this gateway, you are opening up on higher levels. You're always on the right path. Sometimes the path has hills and valleys, and sometimes you're working through some karmic BS that you brought in from a past lifetime, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the rest of your incarnation. It just means that the only way out is through. This card is activating your soul star chakra. So it's like half a foot to a foot above your head. And it is like a more intense connection with your higher self, with source. It's like the upgrade of your crown chakra. Spiritual discipline, Saturn and Pisces. This is listening to the messages that the universe wants to send you to to guide you down the path. Just because you're doing something difficult doesn't mean it has to be difficult forever. You can listen to the messages available to you and go this way. I'm trying to think of an example real quick about like intuition. Like I quit my job. I'm watching my bank account go down because I don't have direct deposit anymore. And my control was like, ooh, I need to make the same amount of money that I was making. Why isn't it happening right now? I did the meditation this morning, connected to my higher wisdom, was probably using my soul star chakra. And the intuition I heard was release control. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to release control. Is that changing the situation right now? No, I still have the same amount of money in my bank account. But my intuition, my source, my higher power told me to just freaking relax. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna work through this karma for XYZ reasons. I love it. Let me know how that's resonating with you guys. Stacy says, I came into the live on 3, but always pick 2. Maybe you're being guided to change your choice today. Courtney says that resonated. I don't know if you guys are just being quiet right now or if the chat froze. But I'm going to keep going. I think it's frozen. My timer on Insight Timer is frozen right now. I trust that I'm coming through loud and clear. If I'm not, the replay will be on my YouTube channel. Just search my name and play it all back. Card number 2. The one that many of us had aversions to. It's the Halls of Amenti initiation. Secrets revealed. Scorpio, Pluto rules secrets. Secrets revealed. Treasures uncovered. Initiations. The Halls of Amenti are a sacred learning space that were energetically transported by Thoth from Atlantis to the spiritual plane before Atlantis came to an end. It is said that the portal to this etheric retreat is energetically connected to the Great Pyramid of Giza. Many believe that the physical remains of these halls can be found there. We don't have to physically visit Egypt to access their energies, though. The Halls of Amenti are said to have been home of the Emerald Tablet. They are a space of ancient mysteries in service to the expansion of humanity. On this card, you will see 2 pillars, an echo of the 2 pillars that have been found in sacred spaces throughout history. The black pillar represents the physical world, and the white represents the spiritual, indicating that this sacred space is, quote, between the worlds. If you feel called to these halls, or they seem oddly familiar, there is a chance you have visited them in dream time, or even before this incarnation. So interesting with all the aversion to this card. Maybe whatever you're working through right now was told to you at this place, but there's more. You are in a deep initiatory chamber at this time. You might feel like things are heavy and challenging, but know that a reconfiguration is happening. Energetically, you are going through an initiation that will allow you to go beyond the fears of the ego and transcend the limitations of the physical realm. You might not feel that light is present because you are in the middle of this phase at the moment, 5, middle, but know that it is present within you. You might be feeling frustrated or overwhelmed. But a lot of this anxiety is actually old energies that were stored in the depths of your body being released so that your vibration can rise. Shnikes. My goodness. My eye is twitching. My belly is twitching. This is a big message. Both my eyes are twitching. Yeah, all the uncomfortable feelings that you're feeling, let yourself feel them because they want to be processed to get out of your body to make space for the light to come in. Yeah, I'm really feeling like the aversion to this is the aversion to wanting to sit with the, quote, darkness. Is darkness bad? No, darkness is just darkness. Oftentimes when you use your flashlight, aka your inner self, your soul, your heart, when you use the flashlight that you are to look at your shadows, you usually just find a scared little thing. Just a quivering little, tiny little thing that in the shadow looks like this big scary monster. If you're afraid of it, if you say, oh no, I don't want to work with the darkness, it becomes bigger because it's more unknown, it's more scary, it's more ugh. And then you look at it and you're like, that's it? That's what was doing it? The shadow is like a splinter. It hurts. It causes a lot of pain. It often feels like your whole finger is on fire. And then you look at it and you say, oh, it's just that little piece of wood? That's all it is? That's it? All right. Done. That's usually what, for me, I can't say what your experience is going to be like, but that's what shadow work is like for me. the other day, yesterday, we'll get to card 3 and I'll do another one. I have a lot of good stuff coming in. Yesterday I did shadow work around my late father because this is something that's been coming up a lot. It's been spilling out into my relationship with my husband, and I was so grateful to actually connect, like, oh, this is a dad wound. So I sat and I did a cord cutting with my dad, and so he passed away in 2015, so it's been some time that I've seen him in the physical reality, but I was like sifting through all of these different versions of my dad, like what version of dad am I going to get today? Because you have like a million memories, and what sat in front of me was a man who was extremely disappointed in himself. He's a Cancer. Big crab shell. And that was just so like, oh my gosh, like of course there's so much. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I don't want to go off on that big tangent, but yeah, the shadow, the pain came from the relationship from him, but it all stemmed from his own insecurity that then I took and held inside of me, and it's been hanging out for the last 20 years, And then you just look at it and you're like, oh, that's it? Let me cry for you. And I cried for him, and I feel great, and I feel amazing now. So, yeah, the darkness doesn't have to be dark and scary. Key and Christine, thank you guys very much for your donations. Let's blast on through this last card because I really want to get to that last deck. This is a great reading. Thank you guys for being here. Love it. Card number 3, Crystal Skull Wisdom. And this is the one that was upside down, so let's see what that might mean. Clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy. So the fact that clarity is right there, for me, it's like, we're looking at the situation upside down. We're still stuck in last November. We're still stuck on the eclipse of November 8th. But now, the sun and the moon have switched sides, and we can see it from a different light. Oh, all right. Let's see if that means anything else, but that was cool. Crystal skulls are said to have been healing tools and wisdom keepers in the ancient civilizations of Atlantis and Lemuria. Interesting that Atlantis came up twice, and this is a Scorpio full moon, water, Atlantis, okay? If you're feeling any connection, this might be a sign to go do some research on Atlantis and see what comes out for you. Quartz crystal is known for its capacity to amplify energy and store information. When a crystal is carved into a particular shape, it can bring healing and clarity to what it represents and uncover memories that could be essential to revealing truth. Therefore, crystal skulls are wonderful healing tools that bring clarity to the mind and healing to the head space. We asked, how can we ground our minds? Go get a crystal skull. This card transports us to an energetic space representing the crystal skull consciousness. It delivers high vibrational frequencies into our energy field so that we can experience clear-mindedness. If you have ever felt called to crystal skulls or have an interest in them, there's a possibility that you have connected with them in a previous incarnation. They are gateways to clarity and potential. All aspects of your life are becoming clearer at this time. Expect to become aware of what you need to step away from to have a more focused path. You may have felt indecisive, but now you are downloading direct guidance from the heart of Source so that you can live and express yourself in a more authentic way. Know that downloads often appear as your own inner guidance, encouraging you to move forward. The key is to recognize the calmness they bring. This is a time of clarity and connection. Crystal Skull Wisdom is here to bring clarification to what you have been receiving within. In order for the next phase of your journey to unfold, you must follow the information you have received. Let me just remind you of this first soul star, okay? You must follow the information that you have received. You know what you need to do to heal and grow. If you've been asking for a sign that the healing work you have been doing has been successful, trust that this card is the message you have been waiting for. If you have been following Saturn's message in Pisces to bring discipline to your spiritual practice, this crystal skull is the message that you've been waiting for. I love that this is all about clarity and seeing things just cleanly and bluntly. Because when we think about crystal skulls, I guess before I read this card, and like, my friend gifted me a crystal skull last summer, and I was just kind of like, okay, thanks. Like, old Jacqui, like punky Jacqui, was all about skulls, like the Misfits and all that skulls, and rawr. And then now spiritual Jacqui is kind of like different, but I love Halloween. I love the skeleton because it's all about like core, who we are. However, this crystal skull came up and I was like, well, that's for old Jacqui. But I'm so glad that this came to shift my perspective of the crystal skull. Because when I would look at the crystal skull before, I would see like voodoo and like, ooh, what are you doing with that death? But it's all about clearing your mind to release the control of the ego. My opinion is that the ego lives here in your head and the soul lives here in your heart. So that's why that message keeps coming up. Get out of your head and into your heart. Live through the soul, lead with love, live from the heart. And let the ego come in when it actually needs to. Like if a tiger is chasing you. Explains exactly what happened before getting in the call, Jacqui. What was that? What was that? Anik, holy number 3. My Reiki Master training starts tomorrow. I was so excited, yet now I'm nervous. Can I do this? Yeah, the answer is yes, because you've been invited into it. So yeah, you can do it. That's for any of you guys ever thinking, can I do this? If the universe presented you with it, that means you can do it. So many close people to me are non-believers. My restaurant and business with my husband feels like a flailing fish. This card is just, I love it. That's why my head feels so heavy today. If you don't have a crystal skull and you don't have the money or the resources to buy one right now, hold something, an avatar, and intend that it's a crystal skull. You don't need all of the physical things. Literally everything is intention. Everything, this whole thing that we have available to us, the universe, this incarnation, it's all in your full control. Intend. I want to ask what animal spirit will help us embody this lunar eclipse as well. So hang with me. We're going to pull one more card. We're almost done. I do have somewhere to be after this, but this energy today is just so big, and I just want us to get as confused as possible with all these conflicting messages. I'm just kidding. Kelsey asked, what's your sun sign? I am a Taurus. This eclipse is not impacting my sun. Thanks, Anik. It's not impacting my sun, but this is happening like conjunct my Pluto. I was born with Pluto in Scorpio. And it's trine my Mars as well, because my Mars is in Cancer. So, yeah. Stacy has a wonderful Reiki business. She loves crystal skulls. I love it. I love that my perspective got to change. Alice, my huge release yesterday was about a huge perspective change. It's like getting your soul a new pair of glasses. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Jennifer's mind is blown. Thank you very kindly, Doug, for your donation. Courtney says, exactly, that's the release I felt today with my mother. Ooh, get out of your head and into your heart. Deborah says, yep, definitely feeling done with darkness. Coming out of a long time struggle. The treasures are always in the dark, Alice. Something that has been coming up. So like the wave, the journey, the blah, 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 like, but then someone else put it in perspective, because life is all about ups and downs, right? But it's also about climbing the evolutionary consciousness as you go up and down. So even when you do dip, you're not dipping to where you used to be. You're not dipping all the way there. You're just, whoop, whoop, whoop. You're still going up and down, but you're ascending. Jackie, Christine, thank you, ladies. I appreciate your donations. Stacy says, I describe Reiki as physical therapy for the soul. I like that. I like that. Please send your energy into this deck. Did I show you guys the bestiary, the illustrated bestiary oracle cards? Energy in. Let's ask which animal spirit we can embody to help us through this time of change, transformation. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you've benefited from it, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange, donations are always appreciated. If you are not with the money thing right now, you can follow me on Insight Timer. That's showing support. You can follow my YouTube. That's showing support. You can go to my link tree and look at all the million things I'm doing. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Facebook. Interact with what I do. All of that stuff means a lot to me. It's an energy exchange. It's an energy exchange. Money is not the only form of currency. We're coming into the age of Aquarius also. It's all about trade and barter, you know? So, yes. Thank you. Any way of, and know this for the rest of your life as well. Like if you get something from someone and you feel that guilt, like, man, I should pay them for that. What else can you give them? The other day I didn't have cash and I was getting a massage, so I tipped my masseuse with a dozen eggs for my chickens, and she was over the moon. Like, that meant more to her than a $10 bill. So just know that. Just know that, like, money is not the only way to give thanks. Just saying so. But thank you, everyone who is donating. It's very appreciated. Very much. Joe, the last 6 months has been like Groundhog Day. I live 20 minutes away from where that movie was filmed. I love it. Trying to make a relationship work. I've had 2 weeks of pain and doubt, but the last 2 days have given me so much clarity and new energy. I just decided to rekindle my Reiki journey too. I love that, Joe. I love that you were in the 6 months, okay? Not saying I'm happy for you or like glad that you were there, but I love and appreciate that you let yourself be in that 6-month struggle. Because now that you did find the clarity, I feel like that slingshot came out earlier, where you go a little bit deep, you play with the energy, you feel the energy, and then once you get that breakthrough, it's like a rocket ship. I love it. I love it. I love this. I love this. So the animal spirit that we can embody throughout this time of change and transformation is the whooper swan. And the message is love fiercely. Is that a full moon in between those swan necks? Is that a full moon there? In the darkness of year's end, swan flies north. North is where the spirits gather. So in Irish, Slavic, and Germanic beliefs, Swan willingly carries with her the souls of the recently departed. She loves them as fiercely and tenderly as she loves her own mate, and so sees them all the way home. Some say that when she returns in spring, a wisp of those she carried clings to her, a mirror and a memory, making Swan feel like family, like kin to those who have loved and lost. Perhaps that's why we sometimes see Swan rising from the lake, shape-shifting into the form of our beloved, demanding the sacrifices that only the fiercest love can fathom. Swan reminds us that when we love fiercely, our love is never truly lost. We're in this cycle of death and rebirth, letting things go, leaving things behind, closing chapters, walking away from what is no longer serving us. And these can be big things: relationships, jobs, family members, home situations. Send love with whatever it is you are leaving behind. Love fiercely. Thank the difficult times for the strength that they have brought out within you. Because that strength was always there. Sometimes it just takes some nasty times to bring it out. My God, this is a quote from like high school. I think it's Eleanor Roosevelt. And it's about women, but I think it's about everyone. But a woman is like a tea bag. Only in hot water do you see her true strength. Or something like that. I probably said it wrong, but you get the idea. Love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude to everything. Lead with love. I saw 2 swans in the lake like yesterday. Didn't know what it meant until now. Get out of your head and into your heart. Get out of your ego and into your soul. Lead with love. Does this make sense to any of you guys? I feel like that was just a nice little whoop. Closing the knot, tying the knot, closing the circle. Bottom of the deck, who was talking about a deer earlier? The deer is here as well. Pause, assess, and act. That's not, I don't know if that's for everyone, but someone was saying that deer was coming up with the triangles. Ah, in the bottom of this deck, Orion activation. How often has Orion been coming up in my readings as well, guys? This is amazing. I love what I do. I love that you guys are here. Nancy Reagan. Thanks, Alice. That was Nancy Reagan, not Eleanor Roosevelt. Yeah, thank you for just sharing this space with me. Thank you for being a willing student to come and listen to me do all of this, because this kind of work fills my heart. I like using astrology to help people find ease and flow in their own lives. Because life doesn't have to be hard. We can go through difficult things without hanging on to the darkness. I wish you the best lunar eclipse ever. I will be back here on Insight Timer next week, Monday and Friday. Monday and Friday. Monday we're going to talk about Venus moving into Cancer, I think. Sorry if my mind is off. Friday we're going to talk about Mercury stationing direct. So in a week and a half we're coming out of Mercury retrograde. And then also next week on Tuesday, I think, I'm going on YouTube Live. I've been playing with different platforms, so if you want to join us on YouTube Live, it's the same setup. I'd pull oracle cards after I talk about the astrology, free, donation-based. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel and check that out, please. The music today, Christine, is from the YouTube channel called Calm Whale, like water, calm whale. And they always do a live stream for the lunar events. So this is their live stream for the Scorpio lunar eclipse. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, everyone who sent a donation today. I'm sorry if I didn't see all the names, but trust that I appreciate all of it. Anique sees deer almost every day in her yard. Christine says the same. That's beautiful. I would love to see deer. I always see those videos where like dogs and deer make friends, and I see that in my future. Yeah. Yesterday I went for a walk, and the place where I go has quite a few hills, and I caught myself just like being guided. Every time I reached the top of a hill, I would stop and turn around and just look at where, like what I just did. When you're in it, when you're climbing, at least if it's something that you do all the time, like it doesn't feel like you're doing that much. It's kind of like your norm, like, okay, I'm just climbing. But then to stop and turn around and look at like, wow, look how high I am. I used to be down there. Now I'm here. Just review and reflect every so often. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you guys next week. Love to all. love to all. Love, 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 love. Namaste. Take care, guys. I'll see you very soon.